I want to show you why I think this is a viable build. This is the DWF-C, or what I call the dire whale, and I named this one Chester because it kind of reminds me of my Stafford Terrier dog, STD. And just like my dog, it has a big set of teeth, and it's overall very cute, and it can absolutely screw up your world, especially if you get within weapons range. And this one's no different. This is the way I've drawn this one out. I really like the blood print. If you've seen any of my other mechs, you know I'm really into this print. By the way, if you're curious, I've never actually done this, but this is the camo pattern for rockin' whatever dire whale. And you can change this out to make it different types of things. I've actually done this one before, but it's really visible. And gone with the black. And that's not so bad either. It looks like you've got sprayed blood. In fact, you know what? I'm going to leave it like that. Just easier to see. And so let's take a look at this guy. So this is a hodgepodge build. So it's not a DWF-C entirely. We've got a DWF-A on this arm and S on this arm. And we do have C on each one of the arms. And then the head is also a C. And for the head, I put a narc in here with a ton of ammo down below. That gives me 15 shots. And I've got 3 heat sinks, but there was no room to put them in here, so I had to put one out on the arm. And then I have 4 LRM-20s. And that gives me lots and lots of weapon down range. And as far as range goes, we're talking about 1035, which is a pretty standard number. And then I've got, obviously, Clan ECM, because this is the C build. And I still have jump jets, at least in one arm, one side here. And then I've got some of my ammo for my LRM here, and I've got 5 more over here. That makes 6 and 7, and that makes 10 tons of ammo. So that's essentially 2,760, I think it is, for the ammo, and that works out fairly well. It's not a tremendous number. It's quite an obligation, though. It might be a good idea to go with LRM-15s here, and then that would allow me to put a larger set of bank weapons in here as well, like maybe 2 ER medium lasers. But this is the way I've got it built. And we're not going to get a lot in the way of skills for this mech. As you can see, there's really not a lot going on here. We got velocity, which is nice, and some torso speed and yaw, and base armor, and jump jet capacity, and not much else. Jump jet, and probably jump jet as well. Yep. And so how have I got it loaded for cooling? Well, because this mech runs a little bit on the warm side for my taste, 119, but it does have a nice alpha strike. And the speed's not incredible, but you know, it's a dire whale. What do you expect? I'm running 2 cool shots here and a UAV, so that helps me get targeting. And you can see the cute little narc right there on the head. And when you go over to the skills tree, you can see I've got range, got some heat, some velocity, missiles, survivability is maxed out, except for that there. I don't have a UAV or AMS, so it doesn't matter. I sacrificed all my speed for range and survivability. I've definitely got more cooling, and I want to be able to shoot on targets that go into cover. I want to be able to detect them, and if I'm standing in place lobbing missiles, I want to be able to detect if somebody's walking up behind me. Because this is the C, I've got ECM, I've got my cool shots and my UAV, and then of course I've got my narc range and or time and speed. So those all help there. As usual, three button configuration. I've got my LRMs on button 3, Do I have them all? Oh, there we go. Whoops. Some mistakes there. So I got my 4 LRM-20s there. And then I've got... This is also supposed to be already figured out. I thought I did this already. Darn it. There we go. So then I've got my medium pulses. Not a lot of defensive weapons, but I'm going all in on range. And as long as you work in a group, you shouldn't have any problems. Staying up with a group's a whole different thing. And then I've got my narc on button 2. So that way, you know, if I get close enough to shoot these, I can hit them with this, but I don't always have to fire my narc with my pulse lasers. And obviously I can bring stuff down range. Cockpit, pretty basic layout. I like the chocolate catapult. And every time I get a kill, very nice, very nice. So this is my mech layout for this guy here, and I really like the dire whale, and I'm very pleased with it. Not much else to really say about it. I've had some really good successes with this. I average between, I would say, 600 and 800 or 900 as far as damage per match. Obviously some matches are better than others, and I've done as much as I think 1,050 on this guy. And then of course, you know, if you have a bad match because maybe people aren't communicating, or you get left behind, then things can go really sideways. But in the event that I do get attacked by a light mech, I can defend myself with my 4 medium pulse lasers, and they get really upset when you narc them, especially stealth mechs. Hope you enjoy. Have a great day.